I'm trapped. And I need your help. I can't do anything because someone has taken advantage of me, and now I can't do anything. Let's make sure. I'm revealing the culprit right now. There we go. For some reason. So I'm trapped here because of this creature taking my lap, and all she wants is love and sleep. Yeah. What is it? Muffin. So we were going to have a stream about crafting until this one found my lap. Yeah. And now she's taken my hand. Do I have to change everything I plan to do today because of you? Does the world revolve around you? Yeah. Wizards are all powerful until their familiars rebel against them. Oh, this little one. I do have more music we can listen to, which is great. We have a new music track that just came in. Hot off the press. There's that one. Make sure I copy and save it in the right place. Music. So the music that you're currently hearing in the background is Age of Thunder Explorer. And what that means is the Age of Thunder, which is like 11,000 years ago. It's the Age of Giants. This is the music that you would listen to if you were walking through a dungeon from that time. And the new track that I'm working on is I'm working on, that I have a talented composer helping me with is chase. This would be used for like action, combat, a little bit more than combat, but that's why I call it chase. So let's give it a listen to. This is a sample, it's not the final mix. Yeah, this is the chase soundtrack for Age of Thunder. I need to get to work. I can't go. Why are you gonna drive me like that, huh? How am I supposed to craft like this? I can't do that. Everything, change the title, change the description, just because of you. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing. If I change the title and you go running off and letting me free, I'm gonna be so frustrated with you. What am I supposed to do? Just try to grab one thing on the floor. What is it? Am I doing things? Am I disturbing you? Apparently not. Okay. Take a bite. You're fine. thought I did. Okay, so the plan for this is that this is an opening. So this is nothing. This is an added piece on top. So we're really looking at this big honker back here. And I feel like turn up the music. Probably a little bit loud. I feel like so we have wings here that would go over it and it would slap on top. But I do feel like this would have to exist and make the shape, and this would go over it. This can't just be a topper. If I made this all one piece, right? Carve this out. That's how they would do it, making the stone. Cut it in half. How deep is this supposed to be? It's supposed to be pretty deep. Hades. Alright, so I think taking a 2-inch piece of foam and just doing a main cut of the whole silhouette and starting from there, chipping away, and then adding pieces on top. I think that's the smartest move. Because then I have the base shape in foam. Assuming this one will let me get up and do my thing. Huh? Or is this your time? It's not my time? Yeah. A 2-inch piece of foam. It's going to be about 5 centimeters thick, which is what this top has to be. Makes sense to me. I know you're purring. But now I gotta make some stuff. I gave you so much time. I'm a sucker for this animal. He grabbed my arm again. Like, no. I'm gonna try to put her in her bed. Oh, come on, baby girl. Yeah? What is it? What is it? Oh, baby girl. Oh. Yeah? That's right. No, we're going somewhere new. Oh. All right. I'm free for now. Okay, so 2-inch piece of foam. We outline this, and we can do some chopping. We can move this outside and get this rocking. It's cold out. Test, test. Does this mic work? All right. Can you guys hear me? 1, 2. You didn't hear me at all? Okay. Just a little bit breathing room. I wonder if I can make 2 of these with 1 piece of foam, because that would be great. That would be fantastic. Nope. How's the music? How are we looking? There we go. First, we'll make a cut here. Should be about 16 centimeters. There we go. To please you, my lord, here's an LED. All right. Very nice. Great. And now we make diagonal cuts in. And we tip off the top. What are we looking at here? So we have 15 centimeters, 5, no, right here. So we have 11.5 plus 15, 26.5. Yep, that is correct. Great. So, what's the top there? Basically 2.5. Measure twice. There we go. There's just a little bit of room there, but I think that's okay because I can always sand it off. Oh, it's borderline perfect. Now it's really about getting all this without messing it up. I think cardboard will be the best choice. Yeah, cardboard. Grab a knife. Also, I wanted to show you guys, I shared it on social media, but this came in the mail. Toronto Web Fest. Best Game Master for Curse of Amity Island, Fables of Aeda, no typos. Yeah, this was an amazing thing to receive. It sucks that I wasn't there in person to receive it. But that's just, you know, budgetary restraints. It's the first time applying for a festival with my work. And I got this. A different festival, we won Best Editing, Best Sound Design, and Best Minis. At this festival, we were nominated for all of those as well. Yeah, it's really awesome that I get to have a plaque, and I get to have this for the rest of my life, and I can just look at that as like, I made something that really was a profound impact on me as a person, how I interact with people in real life. Like, being a game master has changed my ability to socialize and really interact with people that I love around me and make other people's lives more exciting and more fun. So this is amazing. And thank you, Toronto Web Fest, for if you ever see this, thank you so much for the plaque and the award. Let's move to the other side where we make some stencils. Basically, you just need to make this shape out of cardboard. Don't need the actual foam to be there. There we go. So if I cut that and tape it, that should help. That's my logic. I'm excited. I showed the plaque to Ivan, who's making the music that you're listening to, and I was like, now we gotta get you one for original fantasy music. Tape, 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 tape. I want to get another camera out here. What do you guys think? Like a nice wide cam? So rather than seeing me in the distance in the corner like that, can you even see me? Right here. There's a nice wide cam so you guys can see what's going on out here. Put one piece of tape on that side, and you should be good to go. So, let me just cut that, take it off, put it on the other side, cut it out there. It's funny, I have this plugged in, but not into the phone. You see your work in your shelf. What do you see in that corner? That's interesting. Here, let's just show you my minis. There you go. Toys. LED, my lord. Alright. So we want to make sure that this is in place. Any loose ends we can always sand off. Yeah, I need to clean that up. Get you guys right up in the action. There we go. Yeah, that can all be sanded down. I'm pretty happy with that. imagine it felt amazing, like the recognition of doing something worthy of an award. Oh yeah, like the last time I won an award was in track and field in sophomore year, so when I was in 10th grade. For those, if that's different to anything in Europe, we graduate in 12th grade. That was the last time I won an award. No, that's not true. I won a scholarship for filmmaking, which paid a couple semesters. That's not an award. That's just earning money. Don't cut anything. But yeah, it was a great feeling. All the stress of like dealing with YouTube in the sense of like when you're making this, the first thing that you're seeing are the analytics, right? You're seeing those numbers. You don't know if this is good or not because you're being trained to look at the analytics, the views, the watch time, and that's what tells you if something's good or not, which is not true. If you're making art, a computer and an algorithm can't tell you if you are making good art. It can only tell you if you're profitable in comparison to what the demographic and what people want that day. What tells you if you make good art or not is other people in the world telling you you did a good job and you made you clearly have talent and you should keep going and you should keep trying to make things even better because your point of view in your art is providing something. That's what that award means to me. Doesn't help the long nights, you know, when I'm editing. I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing a good job. For that award, having that next to the editing desk, and I can, if I'm exhausted from editing, I can just look at it and go, I know what I'm doing. I got it. Ooh, I'm gonna have to clean that up. That's fine, it'll look like a bit of a ruined piece. I'm okay with that. You guys can't see what I'm cutting right now. I'm sorry. I put the camera in the wrong spot. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks fine. I can sand off the edges to make it more perfect, quote unquote perfect. It's a big honking piece of foam. I think I'm only gonna make 2 of those suckers. Maybe one for now, maybe one down the road for a desert piece, but we'll get there. All right. So the next thing that needs to happen is cutting out the center, which requires me to take this thing apart. Friend once told me art is artist's redeemer, in the sense that that what saves the artist and pushes them forward in the pursuit of life. Absolutely. I have a friend that I truly deeply trust and admire. His saying, which is a little I don't want to use the word dark, just less optimistic, is you don't get to call yourself an artist. You have to earn that from people around you or your peers. You can make 1,000 things, but at the end of the day, it requires other people to determine if you're an artist. Which, you know, there's some truth to that. But then you're also just pursuing what other people tell you, which is not great. It is absolutely rewarding, and it feels like you've become an artist when other people admire you for your art. Especially as someone who struggles with social skills, to get an award for being a game master means you're not just a good adjudicator for the rule, but you know how to have a good social presence and time with people. This seems off. Might be the shadows that's throwing my brain off. Oh, it's because that got nicked. Got it. Oh, my zipper. My zipper just came out. Good job, Patagonia. Really happy for you and the whole team. It's amazing that an actual play, something that can be niche, won an award, right? And other people won like best actual play, and I've seen their shows. They don't use any of the minis. They focus solely on like storytelling and communication. And there are other people who did amazing styles of art. I was blown away with the unique and creative work that's happening when you go to submit stuff like this. Okay, so now I need to protect this with cardboard. I feel like tape will do. Let's test that theory. test that theory and see if the foam cutter cuts through the tape. I don't think it does. So it can push up against the tape and cause some problems. Okay. Because the heat warms up the tape. Good to know. Lately I've been having the idea of trying to maybe start DMing professionally or starting a YouTube channel, but I don't know where I'd even start. But I get a little bit more hopeful watching more of your videos. Ah, hell man. Hell yeah. If you want to dig through the trash, let's see. The trash might have been a good pick. If you want to start a channel and like run games, my first recommendation, first and foremost, is do audio only. If I could go back and start all over, it would be audio only. Even maybe like I was talking to a friend in Australia last night. We were recording for a video, and I was saying this very thing. It's like audio only. It just makes life so much easier. Less files, less file sizes, cheaper, and you really, you work with ambient music, ambient sound, and occasional sound effects. Editing is so much easier and lighter on the system. I highly recommend that. And we were even talking about when it comes to one of the downsides with audio. One of the downsides with audio only is none of these miniatures can actually be seen then. And we were discussing the idea on how to keep miniatures in an audio only format, and we came up with some really cool ideas that I want to experiment in the future. But yeah, I would, if you were to do a channel, I would start with audio only. You put your character art as the thumbnail and just focus on learning how to tell stories and recording and editing it. Don't worry about video, because the moment you get video involved, man, what's in the back? My camera just... There we go. There you go, guys. Once you get video involved, you have to deal with stuff like that, where your camera's not oriented right. I'm doing this the wrong way. I'm supposed to be keeping the negative, not the positive. Shoot. I have to tape that back on. You have to worry about what's in the background. You have to worry about what are you wearing. How's your hair? Do you look tired? Are you expressing enough? How are the colors? This is a classic filmmaking conversation about the value of black and white over color. Is black and white just makes things easier. Be smart about this. There we go. You know, if you're doing video, you're talking terabytes of data and files. You gotta have a computer that can read and write all that data. You know, I was talking to Chris recently about this, and he underestimated how much that the read and write speed for everything actually takes place. And it's like, yeah, man, I've been saying it since 2008 in film school. It's like, if you shoot on a red as like a young filmmaker, it is pretty cool. You get a cool picture. But do you have, one, the hard drive to store the footage? You need a big hard drive. But that's just storage. You don't want to edit on that drive, because if while you're editing you corrupt that drive, all your footage is gone. Now you need an editing SSD that's fast enough to read and write on that footage. Video is insane. Here's some tape. And that would be my number one advice. Start with audio only, if that's something that you're interested in doing. If it comes to like wanting to DM professionally, go volunteer at a local game store. And DM for strangers. Really push yourself and see how adaptive you can be with people you cannot predict, and how charismatic and social you can be, and how yes and you can be. A lot of people say you should take improv classes. I agree, but you don't need them. I think they are a bonus that can help you. You can just brute force your way if you want, like I did. What's your take on GMs that call themselves writers? You can be a writer and a GM, but you're not writing to GM. You can't do them at the same time. Like, I can be a GM, as in like I run games, but you're not writing the game. That's just, no. You can write a plot that makes sense, that it's like, no, you're not even writing that. Now that I think about it, you're not. Because you're just outlining. Outlining isn't writing. Writing is rewriting. If you're a writer, let's just take screenplays or books. They're the same thing in this conversation. If you're writing a book or a screenplay, outlining it and getting your blueprint, that's your first step. Understanding the characters and how they fit in it, that's all just the first step. And honestly, that's what a GM needs to do. That's all they do. They don't need to do the next steps, which is flesh it out. And by fleshing it out, I mean, what are they saying? What are the dialogue points? GMs can do this part. I know like Matt Mercer does this. He kind of preps dialogue scenes, and which is something I just don't do, and something I'm interested in doing. I just don't usually spend the time doing that. I like trying to figure it out on the fly with my players. But beyond that, a writer has to rewrite. Okay, that was draft 1. What's draft 2? Then draft 3. That's real writing, is refining the words that are being written and refining the words so they are read well. No one's going to read your words, read your adventure as a game master. Only you are. And you're going to be changing it on the fly anyway. Now, if you're writing an adventure to be sold, that's different. I wouldn't call you a game master. I would say that you're an adventure writer, or a game designer. And in many ways, game designing is part of GMing. But I don't believe that because you're a game master, you're a writer, or because you're a writer, you're a game master. They have an overlap of skill sets, but they are separate skills. Because if you believe your words are precious, like a writer would, and you go into a game that way, you're ignoring the player's agencies. I got the cold sniffles. Give me a second. Gotta blow my nose. The microphones that I use for the games, the little silver ones, and I have it on my desk. They're Samson pencil mics, CO2. You can get them dirt cheap. 2 microphones for $100 in one pack. And they're XLR, so you need an XLR recorder or a way to plug them in, like an interface to the computer. At the end of the day, whether you do video or audio, your microphone's more important than your camera and your lens. Because it doesn't matter how pretty the image is. If we can't hear you, you're screwed. That being said, you can also look what we're doing right now, right? You're hearing me over an iPhone. This is us just hanging out. And the microphone on the iPhone is great. Ooh, there's some like bad cuts on the back of this. We'll figure that out. You can also just use your phone, right? Just use your phone as a microphone. You can also not release the first thing you record. You have permission to just, oh man, I really messed this up. I messed this up big on the back. It's like going diagonal, like. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna think of ways how we can make this work. You're allowed to record a game with your phone. Put your phone on the center of the table or on a rig so that way tapping on the table doesn't interfere with the audio. put it in your computer, and see what you can do with it. Like, is it good? Is it bad? Is it just good enough? What can you do with it? Experiment. Oop. This is a tough cut. If I was to do this again, I think we should have cut it in half and then did the clean cut around that. Hey, Allie. That's some incredible tug. I gotta tighten that cable. Allie's been at work since, what was it, 4 a.m.? That was 5 hours ago? Get a headache? Well, we successfully did it. If it's good or not, we'll find out. So this is the front. I think the front looks great. This is the back. It's got a lot of work. A lot of broken dice because I didn't have a template on the back to lock it in. Mixed feelings. Mixed feelings. Because I could make it look like chipped, but I wanted to start with something that's meant to look pretty solid. So we'll see how this goes. Next up, we have a 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter hole in there. So I have to cut this in half anyway. Okay. So we have 5 centimeter there. This is what a square is for. Eight centimeters. Yeah, Luna? Look at her. She went from my lap to wanting to be at the door. What are you doing, huh? A little dicey, but we can make it work. It's gonna be tough, guys. That's a tough cut. Very careful. Very careful. Very careful. Fantastic. So I can always glue that back on. I think that should have been the way for me to cut these edges. Yeah. If this doesn't make it, this is a good prototype. And then we would cut holes at the top. Right. That would make that opening. What are we looking at? I just need to make a 5 by 5. I can make it right down here. We're dealing with a 10. So this is halfway. 2, 4, half. Quarters. I should have been quarters. 2, 4. There we go. Fantastic. Oh, congratulations to your wife, Chance. That's a big deal. So we never have to worry about that, even when we're tracing things out. So I just put that there. Make a line. There we go. Great. Is this a situation where I need the negative again? Yep. Hilarious. It's just a little short. That's 5. It's a couple millimeters short. There. Go. Hell yeah. It's a little wonky, if you ask me. It's straight. Why does my eye not say so? Shy of an inch. Okay. We're okay with that. Great. Did it again. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a new piece, but I'm seeing my flaws. Alright. Alright. So this piece can be used. It's really about making sure all these tracers are working. So we have this. We have this. We need another one of these. More cardboard. Looks like a little museum. That's the goal. Do I still have cardstock? No, I just have crafting paper. Cardstock would be perfect right now. Okay. So this down. Start there. Line this up. Hitting a dilemma. So if I was to cut a new piece, I'm going to cut it in half first, right? Right down the middle. I did that. If I did that, I might actually be able to get a couple pieces out of this foam. That'd save a lot of material. Okay. This is accurate. So, what we're going to do okay, flip this, and we want it to line up to the bottom. And line up to the edge. Maximize that for me. Less work. That was a good prototype. We learned a lot. Moving on to V2 immediately. I'm gonna have this thing built today. Gosh darn it. I know I've streamed for an hour and a half. It's fine, it's fine. I'm not panicking. Cool. Now the important part is making sure that it's not protected. The trace is on both sides. So that cardboard's too flimsy. Let me see what material I have. This might do. Thinner, less warped cardboard. Waiting for Tuesday to get some more minis. I feel that, man. I feel that. I want to get more minis. I have things like in waiting lists, but I gotta make this stuff before I buy more stuff. Because if I don't got terrain to put my minis on, then I don't have a reason to get minis, even if they're cool freaking minis. That's what's in my brain. Like, I want to get a bunch of cool giants. So along with this giant dungeon, we have giant monsters. A little flimsy right there. Cut it. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We have plenty of material. Okay. We line that up. Look at that. If I didn't make this prototype, I wouldn't have this. It all comes back around, guys. Yeah, I remember when we were applying for the film festivals. Put that right there so you guys can see it. When we were applying for the film festivals, my mom was like super ecstatic and excited. She was like, how are we going to pay for the flight to go there and stuff? I was like, Mom. This is a first time thing. I spent my money on and the budget on applying for film festivals. And we're doing it so much. Like next year when we submit for film festivals, if we get nominated, we will fly out there. But not this first time. We don't even know if we'll win. We were also moving, so it's like, how were we supposed to afford that? My stuff is currently at the UPS office. Oh, I feel ya. Do you get your minis from eBay? I'm a fan of, like, if I want WizKids, I go to eBay, because then I don't have to worry about buying packs or boxes. If I'm like looking for a unique individual mini. If I want something custom, I go to Etsy. That's kind of my logic. Miniature market is a good spot. Yeah, so eBay, a lot of people buy minis from packs and stuff, and then they just resell them. Or they resell like super old minis as well. Just look up Icon of the Realms in eBay, and you'll see the entire marketplace for people selling used minis, or sometimes they buy packs just to sell them at a just slightly increased rate, like a few cents or $1 more, because they're trying to make a profit by buying and selling. But then I can get an individual mini that works for the adventure I'm having versus buying an entire pack. Yeah, miniature market's also super great. But I would say if miniature market ever is like, oh, this is out of stock, go check out eBay. Somebody has it. And if they don't have it this month, they'll have it next month. Easy, for sure. Okay, hit Scotch tape. Close enough. Yeah. Great. Now we want to do that to this side. Cardboard. There it is. that's still fine. Nope, we want to do it this way. Not enough material. Oh, if we can line that up, that'd be fan-fucking-tastic. Yes. Message retracted. He said a naughty thing, and then he took it back. It's all good. Ooh, I'm gonna have to pay for that later. Oh, it's not terrible. It's not the end of the world. It's still okay on one side. But yeah. Chance, I hope the advice given for interest in making your own channel or doing something professional helps. I definitely recommend, I will say, recording your games, your personal games, whether you're going to upload them or not, and then going through and editing them. Not even editing, just listening to them. It's kind of like a football captain watching the games after the fact. Extremely helpful. Extremely, like, anyone who calls themselves a professional dungeon master and have not ever done that for themselves, they don't know what they're missing. Because if a professional athlete, the difference between a professional athlete, in my opinion, and a amateur athlete is somebody who's doing it for fun and somebody who doesn't actively practice for the pursuit of improving. And part of that active pursuit is recording your gains, you know? Like if you were working out, you want to track your nutrition and see how you're improving. The moment a dungeon master starts recording themselves and are the ones who have to listen to their footage
and edit it, you are light years ahead of the competition. So we are here, and we're touching the top. Yep, that's what we're doing. This is making me nervous. This is a way of cutting foam I have not done yet. Such a big piece of foam, trying to line up the top and bottom like this. Heck yeah. And when you make videos like that, it just helps your brain remember it. You know, talking to Nico at Corridor, one of the best things he says he's ever done was the tutorials early on coloring, filming, the fundamentals, because reading and practicing the fundamentals is one thing. But if you can re-articulate the fundamentals as an educator, then your brain's going to remember the material even better. Which is important if you want to be a professional and make money from it. So that is supposed to line up. This looks like some cool, like, cyberpunk laser gun. Get right in there. There you go. Let's do some measurements before we cut. My neighbor's awake. He's coughing his lungs out. Okay, we're at 2 centimeters and 1 millimeter. And 1 millimeter. All right. I'm confident with that. So if we set it to 2 centimeters, we should be absolutely gold. What's your shot? Okay. There we go. There's a ton of homebrew and alternative rules that I'd like to share, but also recommend other channels and compare with homebrews. Hell yeah. One homebrew that I never got to talk about on the channel, mostly because I moved over to Shadowdark, is the idea of in D&D, you have max health on first level, and then every level after that, you gain a number of HP equal to your Constitution modifier and the level that you're leveling up to. So if you're leveling up to level 2, it's 2 HP plus your con mod. And the idea with that was to reduce your HP while keeping your power level as high as possible. Oh man, I don't know if this matches. It's at 11.5. Yeah, they're pretty close. It should work. Should I say? Should. Here we go. That's a pretty straight edge. Yeah, I'm excited to get some of these games out, so that way I can get to making some talking head videos and talking about homebrews and ways to improve your game, because it always feels good to make those videos. Also, I'm curious to hear what you think are some good homebrews too. That's the beauty of, you know, being able to just make a channel. You get to talk about what you think improves the game. There'll be people in the comments that disagree with you. There'll be people in the comments that may not 100% agree with you, but your tip made them rethink how they approach it, and now they're having more fun. Like small stuff like that. It's so rewarding. Oh, I want to craft one of those too, man. I've been thinking about that too. A box. And I think it could be simple. But I'd love to see what you make. Oh, these cuts are great, guys. Back off for a second. These cuts are clean. Totally worth the wait. prep work in making the stencil is making the cutting so much faster and easier. I'm hitting some snags. I don't know what it is. I think the snags that I'm feeling is just the bottom cardboard that it touches, and I'm just unfamiliar with that feeling. Let's take a peek. Make sure we've got some straight cuts here. There we go. Ooh. I feel like I've unlocked a new level in cutting foam. Yeah, that sucker's great. Ta-da! And then for the hole, we honestly could have put the hole in there when we first cut it. Yup, we could have done that, and we still can. Let's make sure this is the right size. 5 centimeters. I think we should just jump to 2 inches. I say that because this is in inches. And that will save me some brain power. So how high up is it? 1 inch up. Okay. Some people might think I'm crazy for mixing my units of measurement. I think They have yet to try it, and that's because they're jealous. And it'd be 1 inch in. Okay. Nope. Messed that up. There we go. There we go. And we cut that. But now we have to do it on this side. Grab my chair. Actually use this as kind of a guide. Yeah. That's actually extremely helpful. Yes, I'm doing it. Great. Let's try this out and see how this goes. Oh, that clamp just works your wrist. Try an angle. Oh, they are not one-to-one. Okay. We have a little bit down here. We also have a little up here. Great. It worked. And the point of having this hole in here is to have some depth in the final piece. What we can do is have a hole up here and like a gargoyle mini can sit in there or something like that. Or nothing can be up there. Or they kill the gargoyle and they now found a new way to go through. The possibilities. Making the stencils, making it super easy and plausible to make another couple gates. Just tape this all up and you can just cut away. Great stencil. Ah, there was tape right there. Oh, that explains some of the cut. That's right. Okay, cool. Let's cut this off. There's all these foam pieces everywhere right now. Not to sidetrack you, but would you clip the HP bar to your DM screen or set it on the table? I would put it on the GM screen. So every time they look at you, they see the monster HP. And I would avoid having numbers on it. Like the most I would do with numbers is percentage. It's the most I would do. But I would lean into color coding. Ooh. I would lean into color coding my percentages. Percentage. Jesus, brain. Percentage. I would use color coding. So like the top 50% is one color. So that way, once we get to 50% health, it's a new color. And then the last 10% is a different color. That's how I would approach it. Because there's less mathematical metagaming, but it's still showing a sense of damage. Like, he hasn't even gotten to 50% health. We know he doesn't look beat up at all. There we go, guys. Did it. We effing did it. Effing, freaking, fucking, all of the above. Okay. So this would sit here. There we go. This would be the main entrance. Put a giant mini in here. Is there one in this room? No. Put a gargoyle up here, or like a spy or an assassin or something. If they can find a way to climb, they can go through here. Yeah. I don't think we should glue it. I think we should use magnets, so that way storing, I can just store it like this. And transportation's less likely to break. All right, let's look at the diagram. Oh, that's satisfying. Okay, put you right back where you were. So next up are these big chunkers that would go here. I don't think they would be 2-inch pieces. I think they'd be 1 inch. And they'd be, would they just go over the whole thing? No, we would want them in a little bit. That feels pretty good. What is this, 15 centimeters right there? It's not as tall as the point here, but that's not bad. What are we dealing with? 7 inches? 7 inches. These are the tooth sinks. Yeah, we should just use these. Pieces are cut. It's a little thick. These are a little thick, but airplane. But what I can do is cut the angle that these are meant for, and because they're only supposed to be 3 centimeters. Yeah, only supposed to be 3 centimeters. So I would cut them in half here and in half here. Which means we can get 2 out of 1, ideally. So basically what we want shrink it down a little bit. Line it up to the top rather than the bottom. Slide it over. Tiniest of marks. Max HP is untouched, mid HP is bloodied, low HP, death's door. There you go. Green to red. Yeah, I would do... You could do green, yellow, red. You do that. Or you could do red, orange, yellow. Yeah, those are 3 colors that I would, like 2 variants of the colors that I would use for a health bar. And then smaller for temp. Ooh, that's interesting. But why would your or for temp, you know what could make it easy? The health bar doesn't move. Okay, so that's the line. No, it's not the tool that I need. I thought it was. This is the tool I need. There it is. Literally it. Cool. Adjust that a little bit. Great. Hell yeah. Keep me informed, my man. I was just a hair short. So cute. Okay, so we want... Where's my tape? Tape right in front of me. I'm getting hungry. That means it's end of stream time coming soon. Put tape there. Is this the right move? Or should I just cut a new piece of cardboard? Yeah. Let's just have new cardboard. Makes life easier. Okay, so what I need to do is figure out, so it's a 2-inch cut from top to bottom. That's the straight. What topic do you talk about in your session zeros? Different topics for different types of games. Part of it is making sure that everyone knows the basics of the rules. If somebody doesn't, we're going to spend the time to make sure that they know what to do and that they feel comfortable moving forward. I also... Where'd my tape go? There's this. Oh, it's right here. Make sure that they're comfortable. And then I will also set some boundaries and ask for boundaries. Such as I say, hey, there's no physical assault. There's no, even though we may be playing a horror game, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty details of how the gore is described, right? Okay, there we go. Let's get the other piece. Setting those boundaries so that way different players feel comfortable. This piece is slightly shorter. So what we're going to do is match it. So we do that, and then we go over just a couple homebrews that are important at the top of the game. And then there will be other I always say there's probably going to be more homebrews, but we will discuss those as they come up so we can just get into the game. What else do we talk about? Character creation, when possible, I like having the session zero also to be a character creation day where everyone builds their characters together. People can optimize a little bit that way and build a team on a meta level that they know will work. So that way when they're in the middle of role play, they feel more comfortable with the choices that, like, oh, he's the wizard, he's going to do that, I can trust him doing that, right? Players really love doing that, so I like giving them that. Let's see what else. Session 0. Somebody's sneezing. What else? Kind of go through the premise, make sure everyone knows the context of the adventure. And I ask for anything that people don't want in the game. Like, somebody could say no spiders. Someone can say like picophobia, you know, and giving them the permission to say that out loud, like, hey, can we make sure there's no spiders, or can we make sure that there's no this or that? Gives them a sense of comfort going into the adventure, knowing that they've said that out loud and set the boundary, and that that's going to be respected. Yeah, that's kind of what I go over on a session 0. It was, hit and miss for a long time. My session 0s would cover the wrong thing for a long time, and then eventually I got it. I was like, okay, we don't need this. We need more of this. And just figured out what is worth talking about and what's not worth talking about. And if someone has like a specific soft or hard line that I don't understand, like either whether I agree or disagree with it, or I genuinely don't understand it, I kind of ask for some context and to understand, so I can empathize with their reasons for not wanting that in the game, and that empathy helps me make a better game for them, because I can shy away from the reason, not just the thing that they're not wanting in the game. So we can cut this in half now. Yeah, baby. I just moved the camera. So, how many squares is this? 5. So, we want 2.5. I had a one shot with people who never played D&D, a little anxious about session 0. I was, okay, so you were anxious about it, and they were newbies, but I'm glad they got the gist of it. Yeah, to get the people, I feel like if you're going to have a session 0 and there's some people who've never played before, the best way to get them into the rules is walk them through the character sheet. Make sure everyone understands what the character sheet looks like and what to look for on that, and make sure they understand the damage rolling and the d20 rolls. Then just let them play. It's like when you sit down to play a new video game on an Xbox or a PlayStation, what are the controls? That's really where it starts. Is what's the control layout? What do the buttons do? And then I'll figure out the rest as I play the game. I'll figure out the techniques, the tactics, and what to do right and what to do wrong as I play. Alright, so let's see if this is looking good. So we would have to cut this out. I think it would look like this. Should be a very thin piece there. Is this too thick? I'm wondering, is this too thick? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think that's too thick. I think... Is it? Like, this is an ancient structure. And a person is like this big. Oh yeah, it's fine. But now, I'll figure this out. So if I can make this piece out of stock, that would save me. More cardboard. Oh, there you go. That's a clever idea. guesstimate of where this is going to end up being. Cool. Let me make a second. Go. I mean, not even Spanish videos in just about the character sheet. Spanish videos about the classes. Like a guide of like what's a barbarian in this game, what's a fighter in this game. Fair chance. Ooh, it's a little bit longer than it was supposed to be. Okay. How do I need a measure? How do I determine where things go? Measurement. So 1 inch in. That's great. Go straight to here. Make sure our lines match. Fantastic. Connect the dots. Technically, let's go all the way Fantastic. So how do we determine this? Wow, it's a perfect 1.5 inch. You might be wondering, why do I keep switching between metric and imperial? And it is because sometimes one is more functional than the other. AKA, metric is needed 90% of the time. Imperial sometimes proves itself valuable. So I need to get this angle just right. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. So it's a solid 45. And I did that at the 4. Yes, because 5 inches is at 50 centimeters. So 4 centimeter mark there would lead me to there. Centimeters, 45 degrees. It's almost like math matters. I wish my teachers would have made this stuff matter more. Oh, I could do an audio with some animation effects, as You Might Be a D&D channel does. That's true. You could do it that way. Don't forget to label the cardboard. Yes. There we go. This will be useful sometime. I don't know when. So I don't want to throw it out. Go. Fantastic. And now I have a more accurate piece that I can use just cutting the whole thing in the first place. Though I feel like I may have messed it up. We will see. Let's try to just align it by eye a little bit. Yeah, that needs to go right there. The second piece is just slightly off. Okay. We make sure that the edges match and we're fine. That is not an art. What video game that is not an RPG would you recommend another game master to get inspiration for their own table? Are we counting Skyrim and Dark Souls and Elden Ring as RPGs? Like the other day you were playing Red Dead Redemption 2, Time Splitters, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So, let me take that piece down too. I played Time Splitters for a couple of different reasons. One, nostalgia. But I also wanted to see how well does that hold up and what kind of game designs that I can learn from it. And mostly what I took away from Time Splitters was missions and level design. And for Red Dead, and I'm still playing it because I'm still trying to figure it out, is ways to get that immersive world building experience. Like, what about it is immersive, right? Do I have to, when it comes to cleaning your gun, for an example, in Red Dead, rather than taking your gun apart piece by piece and then cleaning each piece, you're just rubbing oil on it, right? So like thinking about those like steps and how you can sum them up to make them just a little bit easier for players. That is a big thing. I've only played like one encounter in Baldur's Gate 3, and I just downloaded the game because I was playing it on a friend's computer. And I will say, Baldur's Gate 3 is really helpful for game masters, because hearing how things are worded for the game master in Baldur's Gate, how they describe things, super satisfying, super clutch. You have an entire writing team behind the idea of like, how do we describe perception, right? There comes the difference between writers and game masters. A writer can sit down and perfect the phrase, "You perceive something." A dungeon master has to say it. So I feel like if you were to play more action-y games like Time Splitters, 007, Call of Duty, mostly FPSs, but at the end of the day, I'm going to describe them as action games. What you're going to walk away with is what makes interacting with the game fun, right? That's what you're going to walk away with. What's the level? What's the controls? Is something too convoluted? Too many steps to get to a thing? Like, what's a great example? Pathfinder, first edition. You roll for an attack. You roll a critical success. Okay, now roll another d20 to confirm you crit. I don't even think that's Pathfinder. I think that's 3E. And then you roll your damage dice. Like, that's too convoluted. That's why a lot of games coming out now, they just don't roll damage. Or they don't roll attack. They just roll damage. And if you roll 1 on your damage, you technically miss. Like, that thinking comes from, hey, how many extra steps did this take, and what would have been a easier, more smooth way of doing it? Monster Hunter World is great, especially if you want to think about crafting, or like, what do you need to go get to make a potion, or tracking a monster. What's another thing I learned from Monster Hunter? Oh, it was, a simple thing. It's really hard to do in a tabletop, but in the video game, reloading is pulling the trigger. Or climbing is the same button as running, which if you double tap running, it's jump. So it's not, it's how do you make quality of life easier for players? That's what I notice a lot. All right, let's glue some of this stuff together, or at least line them up. If you want the biggest lesson to learn for running games and being a game master, run a one-shot, and at the top of the game, start with an NPC that tells the players exactly what they have to find, and tell them, you have to find this book. The book will tell us how to stop the curse. Okay? It's if you can find the book, the book will tell you exactly what to do next. Great. tell them either the book would be in the library, in a study, or in like a private place. Say that to them at the top of the game, and watch how intentional all your players play. Like, they know what to do. They're having a lot of fun knowing what to do. And it's like a lesson in keeping things not so close to the chest. Or, rather than having people roll for intelligence or like lore or history, try having your players just know things. What do we know about this? Oh, you know all this without even a roll. And then if you have a player that's like, who's built their character around the idea of knowing more than everyone else, okay, let them roll, because that's what they built their character for. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this. It's taking shape. What else do we have going on in here? I think this is the basics of it. Yeah. So this is the main structure of it. This is it. Let me grab a mini. This guy, this guy. Look at that. That feels so right. And this guy can also fit in there. And put this gargoyle. Oh, I need to trim it just a bit. It's so close. I was asking for non-RPG out of curious. Dang it, so Monster Hunter is RPG. Thank you, Sean. What's a non-RPG? Oh, should it be on the inside? Or the outside? Ooh, guys, I don't know. The outside's kind of cool. And there's the inside. Maybe on the inside we trim this. I don't know, you gotta remember this is primitive. What's another non-RPG game? I don't know, I don't play that many video games. Oh, Frostpunk. Frostpunk's great. As a game master, what you learn from Frostpunk is resource and kind of like how cities and towns would function in a less ideal situation. So we want, if we put these here, so we could have it like this. Or we can have it like this. Okay. Well, I think we should start. Well, one thought. I was going to say we should start sanding. But one of my thoughts is, this is a great example of a piece. We should cut some pieces to make it look like bricks were laid up. I think that would be cool. So what's the cut point here? 2 centimeters. 3 centimeters. Okay, let's do some cuts, and then we can kind of connect them and stuff. Yeah. 2 centimeters. So this is when it start entering a part where I need to start tracking my pieces very carefully. Zero, 1. 0, 1. Arrow. Arrow. Right? Yes. Boom. Okay. Zero, 1, arrow, 0, 1, arrow. And we go L, L. Great. R, R. Yar. Cool. What time is it? Oh man, I've been streaming for a minute. Kobe. There we go. So we have those, and now we want to make a. So we're going off of this. I believe that's 3 centimeters. Yeah. This would be R, arrow up. RO2, arrow up. Beautiful. L02. Yep. L02 arrow. And those will connect there. Great. Almost time for C Mike's lunch, aka breakfast. Okay, so should we do another 3 centimeter? I think the pattern of 2 in between big ones, I think that looks nice. Because we can take an example, turn the wire off, because it could look something like this. Aesthetically, that's very nice, right? 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter. So we'll do another 2. L03 arrow. L03 arrow. R03 arrow. R03 arrow. It's gonna look sick. Okay. L4 arrow. L4 arrow. R4 arrow. R4 arrow. Great. Now we would want to cut there. So 1 centimeter looks like. go right through the corner. If we cut through there, so if we cut here, where's my stencil? Let's draw on the stencil. This would be way safer. So 2, 3, 2, 3. Kinda 1. This is kind of what we're looking at. We could do a line there and a line there. I think that looks cool. Or we don't have this little one here, and we just have this big chunk and weird shape. It would be there. Now it makes more sense that they would cut there. Or would they actually have cut here? And this is like a wedge. What would they have done? What is easy for me to do? There we go. That's how it looks. Great, great, great. Everything is great. Great, great, great. There we go. Put the knife away. What we want is actually 220 sand sponge. Because we are going to puzzle these together. Great, great. Boom, just like that. And that would go right there. Next piece. Hades, you have a great day. Once I sand this column, I'm going to glue it together and we're going to call it there. Put 3 there. Made a lot of progress today. I'm impressed. Got a little chip. That's great. And voila, that's what it would look like. And it's got like stones stacked together to build it vibe. I won't do this stone stacking on the bigger main structure of it. I feel like this would be added to it to be more decorative. Maybe like one. That's about it. Because we have to remember this thing can exist. So therefore there should be long pieces of stone that just work. Cool, let's glue that together. We'll damage it up once it's all put together. There we go. And we'll make the same thing on the other side. And then we frickin' ruin it and destroy it. Yeah, those look like big ass bricks. Those would be heavy for giants to lift. All right, so we're getting there. And then even so, on top of that, like we're gonna roll the roller texture on there. I think when we look at the designs for this, not this, that's the prototype. Where's the final wings? Here they are. You know, we have something like this has to exist on this kind of look. I think we will probably divot and cut in here, maybe? Yeah, that looks like the right idea. Yeah, this doesn't look great. Super hyped. Hello, there we go. I know, Luna, I'm back inside. Hey everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's cold out, if you can't tell. So I appreciate you hanging out with me, getting this all put together. It's coming along. It was a really productive day. I'm really shocked. I'm really proud and happy with what we did. Again, thank you to Toronto Webfest for the award for Best Game Master. That was amazing. If you want to check out what got me that award, check out Curse of Amity Island. All right, everybody. You have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you on Thursday. And in case I don't see you, good night.